Alright guys, this is my updated slider set for offline. If you're playing the moments, this will get you realistic snap counts, really good play, fun gameplay, everything. So 15-minute clock, 15-second acceleration. I was previously on 20 seconds, but my snap count was way higher than all of the computer-generated games throughout the season, so I made an adjustment and this works, 15-15. Everything else is pretty standard here. Tutorial pop-ups off, heat seeker on. Oh, I keep all these individual and then I go and edit them in my settings, which I'll show you. Trade deadline on, trade type, trade difficulty easy, because I just found that there was a lot of trades that were happening in real life that I tried to do over in Madden and I just couldn't get done. So I swapped it over to easy. Practice squad stealing off, because Madden doesn't give you the luxury of alerting you when someone's going to steal your practice squad for you to sign them. So I have this off for that reason. Unlimited here, I just like to put as many bids out. Coach firing CPU only. I don't want to be fired. I'll control my own storyline. Career clock off. This will help with retirements and things like that. Fill roster off, wear and tear on. I have tackle impact scale at 55, catch impact tackle impact scale at 55, hit sticks at 60 because I want them to actually affect you when you get a good hit stick, and sack impact. So, the major things I want to affect the players that are happening. So that is the regular settings. Now I'll go into my sliders. XP settings. So these are just tuned down because I found quarterbacks and mostly everybody develops a little bit too easy, except for offensive linemen, fullbacks. So just I'll scroll through these and kind of commentate on them. I've just kind of lowered them all so they just don't develop and skyrocket in those first couple seasons. Age regression, or age progression. So I just kind of go 190, 190. So 190, 190, 190, 190. And then here's where I drop it down to 80, 90. So then I go 80, 90, 80, 90, 80, 90, 80, 90. So this just kind of flip-flops back and forth, so nobody is kind of consistently always regressing with 100. Or progressing with 100, sorry. Regression I left at default. The Madden already kind of regresses pretty hard. So I just kind of left that at default. If anybody has any suggestions on that in the comments, feel free to leave them because I would be open to hearing them. Age regression. I do the same concept here, 190, 190. Start with 100 and go down 190, 190, 190. So 35 years old plus, they're only regressing at 90 because I do like to respect the older veteran players. So now we can go into my gameplay sliders. These sliders have been tuned up a little bit since my last video. QB accuracy is still 45 for user. Pass blocking I found at 50. Even if you have a good O-line, you will get, in simulation and playing the moments, you will get sacked a ton. So, at the stat-wise, I had this at 45, and guys were getting sacked 60 times. So my QBs are getting sacked. So I had to go back to default, and it worked. Wide receiver catching at 40, run blocking 30, pass defense reaction time I just bumped up, and pass coverage I bumped up, interceptions down, just too easy to pick the ball off, tackling. This will just help them tackle a little bit better. This is the bread and butter. QB skills, or CPU skills, QB accuracy down to 10. This will prevent the Robo QB from just dicing up everything, but he will still have a very good realistic game stat-wise every single time. you can look at all your schemes, and this is just perfect. Pass blocking down to 45, catching 45, run blocking 45. Everything default with reaction and pass coverage. Interceptions down to 10 because they do pick off everything. Tackling 55. Punt power I have up to 65 because punting is really weak this year. So I've tuned that to make for realistic punts. Injuries, this is a big one, 45. I normally play at 50, but injuries are pretty good this year. Playing at 45, you will lose a ton of starters. Starting quarterback definitely has the potential to go out. This will make it a very realistic depth build where you see a lot of injuries. Fatigue at 60. This will help players sub out, and also with injury, player speed threshold I just put down to 45. Give a little bit more separation. Offsides and false start 55. Holding 51. I was on 55. Was getting a ton of holding calls, so we tuned it down. Face mask 55. Defensive pass interference 55. That is so the coverage gets a little bit tighter. And roughing the passer 51. I was on 55, but I was getting a ton of flags as well. Way too many, so we're trying 51. May have to drop this down to 50. Let me see any other settings. User settings. These are all preference. I feel like it doesn't have anything to do with realistic stats or anything. So defensive heat seek on 200%. I disable switch stick. I personally hate it. It's brought me out of so many plays. I never mastered it. Good for those who have, because it's probably better. Revamped. I use revamped. Gets a better trajectory and placement on the ball. And draft class strength. I do very weak. The first 3 years I use a real class anyway that is custom made with all the NCA names. If you want, just feel free to ask in the comments and I will reply with the draft class name that I use. See any other settings here that I missed on this update? We did league settings, we did XP settings, and we did gameplay settings. We did draft settings. So I think that is it for the updated slider set for Madden 26. I will post another one if we have any sort of hiccups with any sort of updates, anything like that. And then be on the lookout for Madden 27, RDFL. These are not the RDFL sliders, my 32-man league. Those are much different. But yeah, feel free to ask about that. And alright guys, if you have any questions on these sliders or want to know anything about them stat-wise, feel free to comment. Alright, see ya.